welcome to What It Is. My name is Jordana, and I use tarot to talk about business and talk about creativity and following your dreams and your vision and bringing your most desired reality into life. Using tarot as a tool and using the runes as tools to interpret how to move our energy in order to align with the vision and stay aligned so that we're resonating with the same vibration of it. I can hear my throat starting to close up a little bit. So let's just tap in. It's okay, take our time and see what the cards have to reveal today. I'm reading early in the morning for the first time before I'm about to do this upload. And I read mind, body, and soul lines, past, present, and future, with a significator for you, with a good luck card of the day. In the past position of the mind line, we have the Hierophant in reverse. The Hierophant talks about structure and structures that society builds to have some sort of boundaries around humanity or ways of being, behaviors, institutions, even family institutions. Rules of conduct, codes of conduct. It is associated with the sign of Taurus, so that grounded, steady energy, that moving forwards with the opposite energy of it, that suppression. When we give away our power to situations, our energy becomes more uncontrollable, like a bull in a china shop. That energy gets pent up and it becomes more difficult to direct towards what we actually want. It has a potential to become chaotic. So in order to transmute that energy, we have to have the willingness to go within and to create our own structures and our own truth. So if we flip that card, we're choosing consciously to create a system for ourselves that holds us in alignment with our vision, that holds us on the path, that brings us back to the present moment, so that we can continuously guide ourselves towards what we want. Because if we move forward into the alignment line, we have failure, the Eight of Cups. There's a lot of disarray, the chaos of life, all the distractions, all of the limiting beliefs, all of the doubts, all of the conditioning, all of the other people, all of the naysayers, all of the crabs in the barrel trying to pull you back down to your size so that they can stay comfortable. In order to build a life that is aligned with who you truly are and expresses the fullness of your vision, you are going to have a tremendous amount of strength and resilience to stand up to the world, to stand on your square and mean what you say. And think about it this way. The amount of suffering that you've endured, the amount of pain that you've endured, because suffering is a choice, that requires so much strength. But it requires an equal amount of strength to allow yourself to experience joy. Because everything has its opposite reaction. So you shining your light and being in your fullness is going to trigger people, is going to confront people. They're going to bump up against their own edges and take it out on you. They're going to project their own limitations onto you. And you're going to do it to yourself too. Your subconscious beliefs are going to keep you. You're going to keep bumping up on the edges of yourself. So you have to have great, tremendous strength to keep moving past those edges lovingly, setting yourself free, because it's a mental thing. We have the Eight of Swords in the future position. It's mental. The universe is mental. Your thoughts create reality. So if we look at the Eight of Swords, there's this shining column of energy, the chi, the life force energy that runs through all of us, the Sushumna. That column of energy is how we become channels, is how we allow ourselves to be vessels for the universe to experience itself through us. Then we just have to take radical responsibility for who we are being. Embodiment. Because without embodiment, you can have that success. We have success in the body line in the reverse position. You can have that success, but it's hollow without the spirit. The relationship that you have with Source and with yourself, those are the most important relationships that you cultivate in this lifetime. You can look at Earth like a school. Every situation, every relationship, everything you encounter is expanding your spirit's evolution, is allowing you to ascend to higher and higher vibrations, higher frequencies. Because you're letting go of limitations, you're letting go of doubts, you're letting go of old. When we transmute that energy, we align with spirit, we align with Source, and we allow Source to move through us. I'll hold the container, I'll hold the vision, I'll hold the foundation. Move through me. What serves humanity at the highest level? What is for the highest good of all? How can I help? How can I serve? If you're a purpose-driven entrepreneur, your mission is service. I believe all of our missions are service on this earth. That is our dharma, our purpose for being. But we're all in different levels, and none of them are better than the other, but we're all in different levels of this earth school. It's a process. It's like anything. So everyone is in different places in their journey. But if you are feeling called to step forward, you have to have that great courage. In the alignment line, we have conflict, 5 of Wands in the reverse. So that energy is almost all that energy that comes from the outside world that is directed towards you. If you're not holding your mind in the correct position, if you're not realigning your spirit, mind, body, and soul to your vision. Because when you flip that, when we alchemize that energy, that conflict goes away. You stop giving your power away. Nothing has power over you that is outside of yourself unless you are giving your power away. You're choosing it. You're deciding that thing has power over your fate. What if fate isn't real? What if there are certain lessons that you're here to experience, but you still get to choose your destiny? That's much more exciting, right? Because we have courage in the future position. Lean into that courage. What if it gets to be brilliant? What if you get to fulfill your mission? What if you get to have your dream life? You have to let yourself have it. Your limiting beliefs are going to create resistance. So what are your real beliefs? Illusions of success in the spirit line, in the past position, in the reverse. With it in reverse, there's that focus on the singular cup that is actually in the upright position. How do you pour into yourself? How do you allow spirit into yourself to give your life that luminous, shimmering quality of expansion that is cognizant of the balance, the masculine and the feminine, the light and the dark, the harmony, the ebb and the flow? The pendulum is always going to swing. It'll swing less wildly the more you're able to stay in that central position, the more you're able to channel your energy, grounding into the earth on a regular basis, allowing yourself to be recharged like the battery that you are, keeping your mind and your spirit and your body clear of toxins, toxic thoughts, toxic foods, toxic conditioning, as much as you can. It's a challenge in this world. And we can look around us and say, the world has become so crazy. We've become so attached. The devil in the alignment line. Attachment. Attachment to habits. Attachment to patterns. Attachments to conditioning. They're there to teach us. How do you realign? How do you get back to your truth? What is actually true for you? Because if we all create our own reality, then as many human beings as there are in the world, there are realities. We're all creating all of the time through our imaginations. So if we use our imaginations to create towards the life that we want to experience, rather than looking at the past and saying, I'm bumping up against this edge of myself. Let me look at the past and see what evidence I have. How do I manage this? Trust yourself to manage towards the future. Because your past stories don't actually inform what is possible. They're just old realities and old identities. So how does the future you identify? If you already have everything, why are you worried about something that happened in the past? Why are you worried about what's happening right now? You're checking the outside to confirm. You're looking for proof. Pull your energy back. Center. Trust yourself to let go of your own habits. Your own habits of thinking, your own habits of having limiting beliefs. They're just behaviors. They're just thoughts. And thoughts can be changed. And when you change your thoughts, you change your behavior, you change your feeling, and you change your frequency. We have the sun in the future position of the spirit line. Staying aligned to the vision, understanding that life is going to have joy, it's going to have sorrow, it's going to have all the things. The most beautiful rose still has thorns. Love and pain are on the same frequency. They're just at opposite poles. The energy is very similar. They've done tests where the brain reacts in the same way to extreme love and extreme hate. The same parts of the brain light up. The same parts of your spirit light up because you're putting your attention towards something. Fear and courage then, same thing. You can think of anything like that. We all have to have the opposite so that we have a reaction, so that there's some kind of combustion, so that there's some kind of energy that moves us forward. But to do so in a loving way. The Princess of Wands in the reverse as the significator. The Princess of Wands is meant to enjoy pleasure, is meant to enjoy life. The Princess of Wands is all about expressing yourself in a loving way, enjoying the lushness of life, allowing yourself to have a rich, colorful, beautiful experience, because we're only here once. So flip that energy, and you set yourself free to make life more ceremonial, to wake up and feel grateful. If you wake up and you look at your outside reality and you say, oh, it's the same day, it's like Groundhog Day. It's again the same day. You keep recreating that past. But if you wake up, I am so grateful. Thank you. Thank you for waking me up, Spirit. Thank you for giving me another morning. Thank you for my bed. Thank you for the warmth that I have. Thank you for my coffee. Thank you that I can sit here and read for people. Thank you that I can serve my mission. Thank you that I can follow my purpose. Thank you that I have food. Gratitude moves you forward. Gratitude is abundant, benevolent energy. And what you give out to the universe is what you receive. There is no scarcity unless we think it in our minds. We have to pour into our cup. We have to allow ourselves the fullness, the beauty, the joy. It's a practice. Because it's so easy to go back into that victim mentality and say, life is happening to me. Oh, that's heavy. Life is happening for me. We have 2 of Cups in the good luck card. Love, balance, harmony. Hold the vision. And allow yourself to stay in the energy of it's already done. I have nothing to worry about. I'm always realigning. I'm always returning to the path with joy, with strength, with purpose, with vision. Nothing can pull me off for long. And if you fall off or you hit a bump in the road, there's no shame. Just keep going. Pick yourself up and dust yourself off and keep going. Let everything be a bridge towards your future. Let's get into the runes and see what they have to say. What beautiful energy. You have Degas, the gateway, the opening, as you. Kano in the past, in the reverse position. That darkening of the light, not being open to the new experiences. Ingus in the future position, transformation. Nathis in the basis of the reading, the structure, how do we stay aligned to the vision? And Sawelu in the challenge position. Sawelu is all about feeling that wholeness within. Two of Cups, the wholeness within. Creating from within, but from a sense of abundance. The Princess of Wands, that love, that pleasure, that joy. And Jera in the future position, allowing that change, allowing things to move, allowing the energy to move. I'm going to keep drawing cards because I feel like there's more to this reading. It really is that letting go. We have the Hanged Man. Letting go of those attachments, and then the Four of Stones, realigning, reorienting yourself. Again, back to the path, back towards your future. And finding and keeping close to you the tools. Anything that you use as a tool, whether it's tarot, whether it's a religious text, whether it is books written by other teachers. Everything is there to use, to fuel, to fill, to be pouring in, being able to consume the right information that helps you stay aligned. But then having that discernment with the Four of Wands, perfection, understanding that you get to have the choice of what stays and what goes in your experience. You're creating this world. Not letting the outside world tell you who to be. Not letting the outside world determine your emotions, determine how you feel. Creating the feeling and then setting yourself free to have the full experience. Staying in alignment with that consciousness that we're all connected. So when you give yourself a beautiful experience, think of the energy that you're radiating. Contentment, fulfillment, love, trust, surrender, hope. I see the most abundant new world being born. Amidst all the chaos, I can still see that. Being that beacon that helps others move towards that same vision. That's how we create it. I'm not going to go too far down the rabbit hole, but just consider that it is known knowledge that thought creates reality. And so if you're able to harness the attention and the awareness and the focus and the energy of masses of people, think about where you're able to channel that energy, how you're able to manipulate and use it. And so the same applies to us on an individual level. But how do we use it for benevolence? How do we use it in alignment with the next 7 generations so that we're healing the timelines, past, present, and future? All at once. It's all happening simultaneously. All versions of you already exist. All realities that you can imagine already exist. Quantum physics tells us this. So it's where you place your focus and your awareness that creates your world. What you focus on solidifies and expands and hardens into fact. So that's the practice. That is the work of being. Because you can affirm and you can project and you can perform all day long. But embodiment is different. Embodiment is true alignment. I'm grounded in my reality. My spirit and my heart are moving in alignment with what I'm saying, my actions, my behaviors, my thoughts, my emotional state. They're all in alignment. That takes deep trust, deep surrender, deep self-trust, and deep honesty with yourself. Who am I being right now? If this were a movie, if my life were a movie, what is the viewer seeing? Zoom out. Take your emotions out of things. If the emotions create the frequency and you are stuck in this emotion of fear or doubt, lack, limitation, you're holding a frequency. You're holding that frequency. And you're telling the universe that's what you want to experience more of. So they'll give it to you. She'll give it to you. The universe will deliver. It's a mirror. And you don't change the reflection by telling the mirror to change. You change from within. So step into that identity of the future self, the one who already has it all, who already can manage those great amounts of energy, who already has the courage, the connections, the community, the positioning, and is doing it for love, is doing it for the betterment, for the rebirth of the collective. That's how we align. That's how we all take our power back. Each one teach one. It's up to us on an individual level to hold the frame for others so that they step into our frame of reference, but not from a place of control. That's what religion does. That's what society does. That's what corporations do. That's that top down. Inside out is totally different. We are all these crystalline beings of light encoded for the rebirth. We just have to allow ourselves to let it be, to let it be born. That's a lot. And I still haven't even gotten to 25 minutes. I'm really preaching here. But this is just what's coming through. So let me just let it come through. I've been returning to my own tools lately because as I expand myself, I am also experiencing all of these energies. The doubt, the limitation, the fear, the clinging to old stories. The patterns of expansion are kind of universal. We all sort of do the same things. We self-sabotage and we limit ourselves and we stay in our comfort zones of different ways. So I'm never trying to come from a top-down approach of saying, I know better than you. Because what I actually know, as much as I know, there's so much more I don't know. And I'm actively working to set my own self free. And it's a choice in every moment. How do I stay free? If I am an entrepreneur and I'm a visionary and I'm a creative, and I want to create the life that I've envisioned, how do I stay free? How do I keep myself free enough to keep expanding? To not let my fear tell me to go back to what's familiar, back to what's safe. There's no safety. We create our own safety in every moment. And I've had people ask me before, how do I tap into my purpose? How do I find my purpose? And I have come to see it as an experience of more. From that childlike innocence. What did you dream about when you were a child? What kind of worlds did you imagine before the world told you that things are limited? Before the world taught you a certain behavior? before the world took away your power, before the world started to name call you and label you, to constrict you, to guide you. That's that Princess of Wands energy, that unbridled expression of energy, the joy. Flowers don't ask for permission to bloom, they just bloom. They just open. They just open to the sun. So we use all of this symbolism to remind us of the potential, of our own infinite nature. Just because we're alive, we're just the spark. The universe is always expanding. And interestingly enough, they've been studying that it's also always collapsing into itself, especially in places where there are really big populations. Dubai being one of them that was mentioned in this article. They've determined that the universe is actually collapsing into itself there, as though the energy of the people and the population and the magnitude of what is happening creates a vortex. There's these energy centers all over the earth. The earth is a living being. The universe is a living being. Energy is living. And everything is energy. It's exciting. It's delicious. It's amazing. It's incredible. And chaos has always been present in every civilization that we have documented, that we have studied. Some opposing force. There's always been crazy things happening. I'm thinking about gladiators right now, and how they would put people in the gladiator ring to fight bears or fight lions or fight each other to the death, but we still have a version of that happening now. All the old ways are just being repeated in new ways. But we don't have to be bound by our conditioning. We don't have to be bound by our human nature. We can allow that energy to flow through all of our energy centers, not just stay stuck in the lower three with our needs and our wants. There's a reason they talk about all of these things, these energies, that attachment, the devil. Imbalances of energy are what keep us stuck in patterns. So if we see ourselves as energy and we learn to move, positively manipulate our energy, we can allow it to flow more freely, and we can express it out into the world from a place of abundance and a place of growth and a place of benevolence. This is a timeless reading, so whenever you get it and whatever resonates with you, aligns with you, everything is timeless. Time is a construct. So if it resonates with you, and if it lands with you, drop in the comments what lands with you. What stood out to you? What helps you move forward from this reading? That helps me create better readings for you. It helps me connect with your energy. It helps me understand who you are and what would serve you, what would serve your mission. Because I want to be here to serve, you know. Helps me stay aligned. Helps me remember what I enjoy creating. It's so much fun to do these. And I really am getting everything prepped to go on camera, so I'll be seeing you on there soon. I'm really looking forward to it. Thank you guys for being here. I really appreciate all of you. Aww. Much love.